Hello everyone, Sejr here. Thank you so much for joining me for my final series of Kendra Card Challenge number 10. And this is for cards 11 and 15. And as you can see, this is card number 11, which has already been created as part of the video hop that we did earlier this month. So you can see that I've used some Kraftin Kimmie Stamps with the fox and added a little mushroom, made a little scene in the center of the card. And I thought that was a lot of fun. And I've been doing that here and there, depending on whether it looked good for me. And anyways, I've been having a lot of fun with this challenge, and definitely check the previous two videos if you haven't seen them. And now let's just start with card number 12. Card number 12 is pretty much the exact same sketch as card 11, and 13 is also very similar. For this one, I am going to focus on this really beautiful red. How I choose my cardstock is typically what are the elements within the pattern paper. And so I took one of the colors from that Starburst pattern paper. And there's quite a few colors you could choose from, but I just thought that the red versus the green and orange and yellows was a good match. Another option could have been one of the darker colors, which I've done in previous videos, especially that dark blue. That would look pretty nice too. But I wanted to go bold this time and challenge myself with using more than just dark colors. I am going to stick very closely to this sketch here. Not going to put the little embellishment on the top or the sentiment on the top, but I'm going to kind of create another little scene with some cute little birthday critters. Instead of grass this time, I did create a little piece of grounding, which is just gray cardstock that I took an alcohol marker to and shaded it. What I'm doing now is just adding some strips. There's three ways I can think of off the top of my head. You can do what I'm doing now with the strips. There's Love from Lizzie's, which are stickers, which make it much easier. Or you could have just separated the pattern paper a little more so that the red from the background or the base would have shown through. I'm not a big fan of that because I don't like the indents. I like to have more, I like to see the layers on top. That has a better look to me. But it really doesn't matter. They're all valid options. Now this is what I keep doing. I say don't do, but I keep doing it. And that is, make sure you get your sentiment on first before you start building up your card. It does make it a little bit harder to get a good impression when you start adding all these layers and then trying to stamp. But it's just the way I seem to craft. I have this idea and I'm going with it and I keep getting it all put together, and then I realize I forgot my sentiment. In this case, I'm using the congratulations, now where's the cake? I thought that was kind of cute because they get the banners and all that, but there's no cake in the scene, so I thought that was kind of fun. And those images were all colored with some alcohol markers, the same as for card number 13. Is this 13? Oh, 13 is not the same sketch. I'm sorry, I believe I said in the beginning that 11, 12, and 13 were the same. It's 10, 11, and 12 were the same sketch. So 13 is completely different. And this one is a doozy. If you are like me and have a challenge of cutting your paper straight, you're really going to want to figure out a way of getting these pieces of pattern paper to not have such huge gaps. And you'll see what I mean, because when I put this all together, I thought it was all straight until it was not. And I had this huge gap at the bottom. And so what you just need to do is either accept it or cover it. So what I do is I end up using some more paper strips, but then even then it was too much of a gap. So looking at this looks pretty straight. Like I was like, wow, I'm proud of myself. I was like patting myself on the back, giving myself kudos, flexing my arms. I'm so great. And then when I get this last piece on, I realize, oh, no, I take that back. I'm still great, but not with cutting paper. So I got a piece of cardstock, and I had to get it pretty thick just because of that really thick bottom. I like this. I should have stopped there. I really like that one, now that I'm looking at it, I really like that one strip down the center. But I did go around all the edges. Um, yeah, now that I look at it, I think I would have just stuck with just the one bold strip down the center. I think that looked pretty good. But anyways, so here I am just cutting all the pieces, trying to just match it so that, you know, nice, clean, straight lines. And I did cut these on angles so that they fit nicely along the edge of the card there. The bottom I am not worried about because I did not cut this straight. I'm going to take my sentiment, which is luckily it's already designed to be flat on the bottom, right? I was actually going to put this in the center and have it all grounded with a border and stuff, but because of the gap, I'm just going to rethink my design, which is not a problem. It's just not going to be exactly what I thought. And so I'm not worried about the gap on the bottom of those lines because I'm going to put this sentiment right there along the bottom. And I just cut this on some green cardstock and stamped it with a really neat sentiment from Kraftin Kimmie Stamps. And it's one of their birthday bash, I think it's called birthday bash sentiments. And it says, may the happy in your birthday last all year. And I did stamp it so that when I colored glued on Lulu, I'm sorry, she's going to hug the sentiment. So it's not big gaps. It's going to look like it flows nicely. And here's me using a lot of glue. I just don't trust not putting enough glue. And I'll put that down. And that ends that card. Now we're back to the more simple designs that are much easier to cut. And if you happen to miscut, no one will notice because they're just simple strips. So I like this sketch. This is one of my favorite sketches, because it's nice and simple. And you can do a lot with this one. You could, if you had pattern paper that was a gradient, that would look really great because it's going from 3 different colors. You can use additional papers as well. Like I'm keeping it a white background like the sketch, but you could add your own. You can have an inked background that matches the pattern papers. There's so much you can do with a simple design like this. And that's probably why this is one of my favorite overall cards of all the 15 of them, because the sketch itself just seems to do all the work for you. All you need to do is just glue it down, and that's my opinion on this one. So anyways, as I was chit-chatting away, I was just setting this all up, gluing it all down, making sure that I strategically place the pattern papers in the way I want them. I really want to make sure that that center one is there because that's the one that's going to hold my sentiment. Before I glued these down, I did happen to have these stars that I had cut for previous cards, and I thought that would be kind of fun just to place them behind the images. And that's so that they pop a little more. If I had glued those down, they would melt into the white background a little more. This helps them pop a lot without adding too much because it is a black star. And this also makes me follow the sketch a little bit more with the hearts. So now I'm adding, instead of hearts, I'm adding stars. In reverse order. Because this is white on white, I am going to prop this up with some foam tape. This is U-line foam tape, which I love, and I believe it's 1/32s. I don't know how to say that. I'm really sorry. I keep forgetting. Of an inch. I believe it's very thin. I love it. And the nice thing about this foam tape is it's not overly sticky until it finally sets. So you can actually pick at it and drop it, and it doesn't get sticky until you really press down, or you just let it sit for a while. There we go. Love this card. Love it. Oh, yep. Here we go. I forgot to put my sentiment on. And I'm really being gutsy now because I'm using an acrylic block while everything is down. This is risky business. Like, there is a good chance that would not have worked. but it did. So I'm happy with that because I would have been sad if my favorite card got ruined because I was being, essentially it was being lazy. I didn't want to bring out the Misty and try to figure it all out. So sometimes it works, and sometimes you got to pay the price for being a little lazy and just be happy. Okay, card 15. This one I'm not a big fan of. I think I was getting tired and just trying to get this done, to be honest. But I tried to make another little scene, adding some colors that match the Starburst pattern paper. I really do have a challenge using colored cardstock for some reason. It's just, it always stands out so much. But everyone seems to do so well at it. So I just keep at it, keep practicing. And one day I'll figure it out. I gotta watch more people who do it and just see really what they're doing. I find that one of the best ways is try to copy someone's card exactly. You don't need to post it anywhere. It's just for your own practice, right? And just see if I copy that person's card, does it look the same? Or am I still judging it wrong because I made it? Because that can really open up your eyes to saying, oh, I'm just being hard on myself, or, oh, I see, there's something here. Maybe it's the balance, maybe it's the proportions of the elements, maybe it's the stitch die that's doing it. You know, you learn that way. But just be careful you don't post it as your own if you're copying it exactly, or give credit to the person who you're casing. It's nice to give credit to people. Anyways, as I am gluing these down, I'm just adding layers, adding mats to all the pieces, just trying to fill in the white. so there's no white. It's just nice transition between the dark blue or it's almost like a teal to the light blue. And then I'll glue this down. It doesn't look like I'm adding any layers to the side. Normally I would, but it looks like I'm keeping it nice and simple. Just filling in. I noticed that it wasn't fully stamped, so I'm just filling it in with a jelly pen, I think they're called. And then my final fox. Love these foxes. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. The last little smirky fox, and I put them here right in the grass on the corner there. Crafty like a fox. There we go. That is 15 cards using the Kendra Card Challenge 10. All the information is in the description box below if you're interested. Definitely check it out. It is a quarterly challenge. You have, well, today's the last day, so unless you can make 15 cards today. but you have next month and June as well to create cards and just have a lot of fun. And there's lots of prizes to be won, I should say. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a fun time as I did. And until the next time, have a wonderful, I guess, May. So take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.